The 7th African Human Rights Film Festival returns to Cape Town. The event is set to create a platform for conversations around human rights and environmental issues. It is hosted in conjunction with the National Film and Video Foundation of South Africa and Oxfam. And to unpack this issue for us, I'm joined by Davidson Mudzingwa, who manages the festival. Davidson, thanks for your time. Many key issues, I'd imagine, around human rights on the African continent. What can we expect from this year's festival?
Thank you so much, Hugo. I think this year is one of the best years so far as yet that we have. We have a raft of themes that our films in the programming and in the screening schedule will cover. This involves issues of environment, issues of human rights defenders in conflict areas, even issues outside Africa, issues that are topical and somewhat controversial at the moment, but still we need to face those issues, like in Palestine, the Gaza issue. So all these issues, but at the fore of it will be the issue of climate justice and the issue of environment, because we know at the moment this occupies the global human rights discourse.
So issues around human rights in particular on the African continent, I think are multiple, right? So the films that we'll see that are based on human rights issues, will you walk us through some of those films, what we can expect, who shot them, where were they shot?
So we start in South Africa. We have a film by Enver Samuel that is called The Cocoon of Pain. This is a film that excavates the issue of human rights abuses during apartheid, but is brought through the eyes of the current generation, a young man who goes to seek the truth and see and try to find why his father was murdered. So all the gruesome detail of how his father was murdered comes out in this award-winning film. And in Mozambique, we have a film called Zambezia, A Well of Change. It looks at a community initiative, a community activist who gathers the whole community to say, we have issues of water here because of big corporate. What can we do as a community? Let's dig. Let's dig our wells and ride above all the issues of water rights and what the corporates or the big corporations have been doing across Africa.
Now, Davidson, can you share more about the films produced by young people from indigenous communities like the Khoi and San?
This has been a labor of pain, I think, for us, or a labor of love, because over the years, we have been training young people in the Kalahari. It's one of the marginalized areas in the country, in South Africa, in the Northern Cape, right in the desert. And it took time because it's a marginalized community. There's lack of resources. So we've been training these young people to tell their own stories from their own scope through the veneer of their own nuances in the communities. And over the years, they've managed to produce almost 30 short films that cover a wide range of topics, from domestic violence to celebrating their culture to issues of identity, some of them that are aged in the pain of the past. So these films will also be showcased in Cape Town, as they were 2 weeks ago when we started the first leg of this festival in the Kalahari.
Now, in your view, how can films and festivals like this one contribute to raising awareness and driving change in human rights as well as environmental issues?
Now, film is a great tool. One is visual. Two, also, you can listen. So we can use film as a tool, which is our mission as Africa Human Rights Film Festival, is to use film as a tool to amplify voices. So imagine using film in schools to raise awareness on issues that are affecting young people. Imagine using film in these communities. We had one event where we showcased a film, but in a language that was not understood by this community. And there was a person next to the film. This was in Uganda last week. And they would translate literally on, as the film screens. This alone makes an impact, and you make these films relatable, and people learn some of the esoteric detail of human rights in very similar ways that is visual.
Okay, and very quickly, for those that would want to be a part of this festival, where do they find you? How do they get to watch some of these films?
So the easier way, firstly, I think, is to log into our website, www.ahrff.com. But if you're in Cape Town, you can come to the Betha Center that is in Mowbray, or also the East Vivana Center, which is in Kaelisha. So these will be the two venues where these films will be screened on Friday and on Saturday, 4 and 5 October.
Right, Davidson, that's where we'll leave that conversation. Davidson Mudzingwa, National and Video Foundation of South Africa, and Oxfam, some of the sponsors of this film festival that's taking place in Cape Town. Appreciate your time.